Hello everybody, welcome back to Fenton Forest Farm with me, CWATTYESO, here in Farming Simulator 19. Just doing a spot of late night chaff compacting in the silo. We're going to make a load more silage. I've been doing a little bit of work off of the camera. Basically made a load of TMR with what we've got already, with all the bales. There's obviously some chaff that's spilled out the silo that's not going to get blanketed and not going to get converted, but we'll basically just scoop that up loose and tip back into the silo once we've unloaded all the silage. Right, so we hop out quickly. Blanket the silo. Right, that'll ferment then. And there's nearly 300,000 litres of grass that went in there that we harvested off field 8 yesterday. So all is right with the world. I finished ploughing obviously field 10, which we purchased in the last video, and I actually decided I couldn't decide what crop to plant on it. So for the time being I've gone for the next best thing, next best idea. Rather than have it just stood doing nothing, I went and put oilseed radish on it. I figured it's not very often I do oilseed radish. I can plant that, and then once I've actually decided what crop I want to grow on there, then I'll get it planted basically. Obviously I was having some issues ploughing that field. Even Courseplay was having issues ploughing that field, hence another reason why I've decided to sort of forego any kind of planting or seeding on that field at this point in time with any like real crop, because I just don't know logistically how well it's going to be harvested via Courseplay, because Courseplay was having issues ploughing it, so I assume Courseplay is going to have issues doing the whole seeding and everything malarkey that goes with it. Seeding, although I did actually use Courseplay to seed the field. I used it in that racetrack mode, and it did seem to cover the area a lot better. It did go over the same area a lot though, repeatedly, which is obviously wasting fertilizer and seed, but it did cover the area better, and it didn't actually go off the field at all. So maybe that's a mode I need to experiment a bit more with. Anyway, it's 8 o'clock in the evening. I'm going to go and have a good night's sleep. We'll see how things look in the morning. Okay, so it's just after 7 AM in the morning. All is right with the world. Let's have a quick look. How's our fields and everything doing? Make sure grass is highlighted. Everything's growing along quite nicely. Looking good. Oh, field 7 is available. I think I already looked at this. I don't have enough money to buy it, sadly. Sadly. So what is on today's agenda? What are we going to do today? Because everything's growing along nicely with the revision to, obviously, growth control. Don't really need to do any of that stuff. Oh, do need some water for the animals. Have we got any nearly fully trained horses? Okay, and obviously we've still got Hellgetters, who we're not getting rid of because he's one of our channel subscribers who has left me subscriber tasks. So if you want to be a named horse, be sure to leave your subscriber task request down in the section below, and you will be considered. Oh, of course, I've got the tanker pot. Oh, that's what I was going to do. I know what I was going to do. Oh, yeah, I've managed to get all the hay bales and straw bales that were here into the mixing wagon. And, as I say, made a lot of TMR, which is in the silo. And then I just went round and did some loops, straw, off camera to fill up the animal pens. I used the no collision forks that had got randomly just sat at the shop. I remembered I bought them for the Telehandler, and yeah, they ended up working very well to assist me with the loading and unloading of bales into that Vertimix. Obviously going forward it should be a lot easier to do that because I've upgraded the balers in the recent videos. Need the menu on, although I can't see the fill levels. I'll take the hood off again once I've done, just topped up all these animals. The sheep need a lot of water for some reason. There we go, nicely filled. So I've also off camera replaced the conveyor. I've re-downloaded Stevie's mod and it's just default now. I haven't tried editing that because all I managed to do was break it completely. So I've sold off the broken one, installed the re-downloaded version of the mod, and then I've purchased that conveyor and put it there. So for all intents and purposes nothing on the farm's changed, but once again I'm quite a bit out of pocket. Quite a bit out of pocket money wise, unfortunately, because I keep getting rid of machines before I keep forgetting to sell off the machine before I replace it, if you know what I mean. We might also do the manure emptying today, just to test that conveyor works. I did, when I parked it back over there, I did briefly switch it on and it did suck up some manure, so it seems to be functioning, at least in that sense. Right, I'm going to park you there for now. Take off the let's have a look. Pigs, do they need any food? Well, they're going to need potatoes and sugar beet, but we're working on that. Slurry, they've got 65,000 litres. Wow, that's a trip to the BGA then. Cows have got 11,000. Right, what I'm going to do, I've got the tanker here, and I've got it fully loaded up. Helps if I get in the truck, doesn't it? Right, I've got it fully loaded up with 68,000 litres of water. So let's take this to the animal dealer and make a delivery run. I've not really looked at contracts either. Seeing as it's a bit quiet, we could probably look at doing some contracting work, maybe. Never done a contract yet on Fenton Forest. I've been so wrapped up with doing my own jobs that I've not bothered with the other locals. But anyway, we're going to get this down to the animal dealer. See what they'll pay me for 68,000 litres of water. That's a lot of water. That might actually. And obviously, it's just a little bit awkward, I think. Like I say, I could set up a course with Courseplay where he just basically loads up with water and delivers it repeatedly to the animal dealership, but it's a bit awkward with all those trees and stuff. I would have to do some landscaping, terrain editing and all that malarkey, and I'm not quite in a position where I'm solvent enough to do that. I would also want to remove the trees properly using the actual like forestry equipment. And as much as fun as it is, just I mean, obviously using the Brooks Big Daddy thing is great, just to quickly get rid of a lot of trees and stuff quickly around a farm. But if you're gonna, you know, do like trees, you know, seriously, then I think you need to get the proper equipment. So that is something that will happen. Don't get me wrong, we will be doing like trees, and I will be having a go, because it's something I've never really done in Farming Sim. I've always tended just to stick to the farming side of things in, obviously, Farm Simulator. I've never really got into the whole forestry thing. I don't consider this forestry simulator, but we might have a look. We've got 11,000. 11,000 for a full tank of water. That seems a bit stingy. Possibly. A bit tight of you there, animal dealer. This is going to be awkward because obviously I don't have the steering axle unlocked, but thankfully the truck handled it well, and I don't think I remembered to switch the traffic back on. I think I've just jumped in, started recording, and I've not switched because I haven't seen any cars. So let's fix that, shall we? Traffic on. There we go. Save that. Set. I left the traffic turned off whilst he was doing his digestate to farm runs, because he did occasionally get stuck here as he was pulling out of here. He'd get kind of sandwiched by a car coming south and a car coming north. He'd get blocked and stuck in traffic, and he would start slipping and he wouldn't be able to go anywhere. So I turned the traffic off just while he was running backwards and forwards, making the huge delivery of digestate to from the BGA to the farm. There was a lot, and he has actually completely emptied the BGA at this point. The BGA hasn't got any, so we've got all of the digestate sitting here on the farm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to empty the slurry first of all. We haven't done a milk delivery yet, have I? Wondering whether I ought to do a milk run. Who's paying the best price for milk at the minute? Oh, Fenton Dairy has got a good price for milk. Great demand, actually. It's rather interesting. How much milk do I have? 26,000 in the silo, don't know how much is in the cows. So what I'll do is I'll tip the slurry in here and then I'll go back and fill up with the milk. Check the milk on the cow screen, can't I? How much do the milk, cows have? 18,000 litres plus 20 odd thousand litres, about 38,000 litres of milk. You know what, I am going to go and do a milk run to the dairy. Why not? Brings in a bit more money. Well, that's what we had the cows for at the end of the day. It's about time they made us a bit of money. Perfect. Right, let's go get what's in the silo then, which should give us about 39,000 litres. Give us a lovely maybe over 40,000 litres, even better. 44,000, that's good. That is very good. So we'll have a quick drive up to the dairy and then we'll come back. We'll empty the slurry from the pigs. Get that delivered up to the BGA as well. That will then earn us a good healthy bit of income when the clock strikes midnight, and we'll get them into, obviously get them in emptied because it's starting to build up. So we made a decent bit of, we made, well, 11 grand from the water delivery. I don't know if that's really good or bad in the grand scheme of things. The water doesn't cost us anything, admittedly. It is free, providing we get it out of the ground and not out the farm supplies. So you should accept the milk. You should pay me a great deal of money for it. Sold. 54,962. Not bad. Not bad income. A little bit easier to get in and out of the dairy than it is the port. So yeah, I've put oilseed radish on field 10. I'm still most likely going to put sow grass on it, I think, because it is a weird, odd little shaped field and it's going to be awkward to farm anything else on it unless I go with the strategy approach that when it comes to the weird shaped fields, I actually do farm those myself. I don't use course plate, I don't use workers, I actually do all the graft myself on those fields. That might make things a bit more interesting, because I'm pretty much, I realise, having watched a couple of my videos back myself, I've just kind of been like switching on course play and going, off you go do that field for me, and then I'm kind of falling into that farm manager trap where I don't actually do a lot of the stuff myself. The only stuff I tend to be doing myself is this kind of stuff. That's kind of awkward. The good thing is, I think I can... I've got a trailer hitch on this, haven't I? Yes. I can move that tanker out of the way. That's... Trouble is that tank... I was having a bit of a think as well last night. I know in the last video I was a little bit critical of the mod hub Friday mod releases with the, you know, that man truck, the IT running truck, and the that little trailer, forage trailer. It's not even a proper trailer. You can't put normal crops in it. You can only put like foragey stuff in it, like grass, hay, straw, chaff, that sort of stuff. So it's a little bit, I wouldn't say completely useless. It's not going to be as useful as I thought it was going to be, because I thought, oh, that would be really good to have on the old family farm for Dolores, because my existing trailer on there is like, I think 35,000 litres, so it'd be an extra 10,000 litres, and it's quite cheap at 25,000. But then I realised it's only a forage wagon for holding like foragey stuff. It doesn't do like normal crops, so not that beneficial. But I was actually thinking the man truck, the IT running truck with a couple of the things on the back, could be quite useful. It could be something to consider having. I was thinking maybe getting rid of the little universal, maybe putting that over by the cows, that green one, and use that to transfer the milk from the cows to the main farm silo. And then I was thinking of maybe once I've got a bit of money, get the man truck with the IT runner thing on and have that running my running the slurry up to the BGA for me. Obviously keep this because it's going to be more useful for bringing the digestate back from the BGA, because obviously it's got the highest capacity of any tanker in the game. But I quite like the fact, I think I've hit a sweet spot now with growth control, because I'm not having to go crazy. I'm not having to, you know, harvest, seed, harvest. I get a bit of a break. I get quite a break now. Once everything's planted, it takes a lot longer for everything to grow. So when I do new recordings, if I keep recording every single day like I've been doing up till now, obviously I'm going to have to find different things to do to fill the videos, because we're not going to have a lot of field work to do. Once a field's seeded, it's going to be several days before I need to go back to it, which is going to be useful, especially as I get more fields. I've not actually brought any stuff down to the to actually put in the BGA silo, have I? We'll get the slurry delivered anyway. That'd be nice. Whilst I'm here, I will just check if there is any digestate. Don't think there is, because I'm pretty sure I've emptied it all. Unless it's refilled that quickly. Hey, it has. It's processed exactly what I've just delivered. So we'll take that back to the farm, then we'll get it in the silo. Happy days. We're up to 227,000 in the bank account, which is nice. Next sort of equipment I'm thinking I need to purchase will be the sugar beet harvester. So we can start doing sugar beets. I'm getting an appropriate header for that. Then I'm not really sure where to go from there, because we've kind of got everything else currently. We've pretty got a good fleet of vehicles, really. We don't really have any gaps in what we can do or what we can produce. A forage harvester possibly something to consider, so I can start doing like proper chaff, like just sacrificing crop for chaff. Then we would really be getting into the whole silage manufacturing business, wouldn't we? I mean, at the minute, obviously the silage I'm producing here, I'm using here to feed the cows and that, but obviously if I started doing, you know, loading wagon stuff, it's not loading, forage harvesting, then obviously we'd be looking at serious silage production, which then means selling silage to the BGA to make a lot of money, to the animal dealer. I don't know if there's any other places on the map that take silage or accept silage. Quick look at that. Silage. Animal supplies. BGA obviously pays tremendously high. Port Northwest takes silage but pays very poorly for it. Obviously we've got our own farm Windrow Sales that takes silage, so there's 4 locations we could distribute silage to. This is probably a bad idea. Drive the truck into the water. I wonder if I could set up a course-play course for this. Now have this as my start point, obviously my fill point. From there, reverse. Oh dear. We've knocked over the fast track. Whoops. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another run up to the animal dealership quickly. With the water, gives me a good chance to give the truck the tanker a rinse out, doesn't it, after having slurry and digestate in it. I can't remember if I showed you or not on this one. There's little digital gauge there, look, behind Mr. Miyagi, that tells you exactly how much you've got loaded in it, and it does work. It does keep an accurate check of how much stuff you've got in the tanker. Whereas the smaller tankers have got the little analog, the little analog gauge with the needle to show you the fill level. This big tanker uses a digital system. Down the hall, baby. Look around here. Where are you going? I'm going the awkward way. Takes some grunt to pull up here. Don't think you can't unload water here at the mill. Can at the animal dealer. So we'll sell another 68,000 litres. That'll keep them going for a bit, I'm quite sure. Builds the money up nicely for us, bit by bit. 9,000. So actually, the price has gone down already 2,000 litres. I've kind of overloaded them with the first delivery, so they don't want any more water for a while. But we made, what, about 20,000 out of those 2 deliveries? It's not bad. It's not bad going. One of the many things that Stevie puts on the map for you to do. Now I suppose I best go get the fast track, put the correct way round, put it back on its wheels. Filling up nicely with wool. The eggs are filling up nicely again.
Right, son. What? Rubbish. Get, please.
Okay, that's enough water delivery. Need to fix this guy. Only if you spin around real quick. I'll do it with this. Probably going the wrong way. Oh, there we go. It's always possible to right a tractor. You just got to be prepared to put in a bit of work. I couldn't do that with the Fenton though in the last one because it got glitched into the wall. It was stuck in the wall. I had to reset the Fenton. The big boy Fenton. Right. So what we want now then is we need to get the manure shifted. Looking at the video is about 35 minutes. Do I do a little bit of manure emptying on camera, or do I just call the episode to an end here? I don't know. I think we do a little bit of manure emptying. How much the horses have got, to be fair. Doesn't tell you the horses. As we use one of the fence. Remembering where I park everything, isn't it? We'll use the big one. And we'll get the Stratman trailer. As I said, I don't really use this enough, do I? The Hyperion. I really should use it a lot more because it's got a good capacity on it. Quite a good capacity on it, in fact. Be able to get under this. Only just. No. Sometimes think this belt should lift up a lot higher, but it doesn't. It's a shame. It's a shame you can't. No one's done a mod. Brought out a conveyor mod, which angles up a lot higher. That would be very useful. Right, that's the so that's the piggies mucked out. The pigs I would do more or less with the sorry, the cows and the horses I would do with the telehandler. That makes the most sense logically to me. Rather than move the conveyor. Get the manure tipped in. Okie dokie, pipey smoky. There's an expression you don't hear very often. Okie dokie, pipey smoky. Can't remember where I first heard that. Right, so we'll get lined up with the horses. The horses manure pit. It's down here, isn't it? Okay, we'll go get the telehandler, which should have the bucket reattached after putting the bales on it. I can't tab to the telehandler because I've got it with the part vehicle mod, along with like the Vertimix and the mower. Pallets of wool. In quite a few pallets of eggs as well. Something to consider. Not in there. I meant to check, didn't I? There's an auto-loading platform for the IT runner. I could get one of those with the man truck, and that would make it a bit... I'd be able to shift the eggs, pallets of eggs and the pallets of wool. I would probably do away with that 51-foot trailer then, because it's, you know... I do like this shovel. This shovel is good. Whoa. Why is that doing that? Behaving very oddly. Now I noticed that's got a trailer hitch on the back. Are you supposed to be able to put like a rear weight on that or something? Oh, pick up the poo. As if it is supposed to have a rear weight on the back of this thing. I haven't got one. Right, then we need to go do the cows. Today's gone by quite quickly. Done a few little different jobs. Water deliveries. Made a delivery to the BGA and brought some stuff back from the BGA. Like I say, we're slowly getting stuff fixed. Okay, the cows have got a lot of poo for me to worry about. Now, of course, it helps if I probably drop the sides. That might make it a little bit easier for that telehandler to load into it without rocking, rolling, riding it everywhere. And again, I've probably mentioned this before. There's quite a few of these weird bendy trees. It's going to be a combination, I think, of things to do. Why did I get an unload symbol there? Load symbol? What popped up on screen? Hop out the tractor, get the wheel telehandler, get him all, get the cows all mucked out. Might not take too long to do, actually. So we're probably going to need to pull weight on the back of this thing. Whoa! Oh. Do we need a weight? I think we need a weight, you know? I'm not convinced that this works too well without one. All nicely unloaded. Whoa! Why is that doing that? I know you shouldn't really manoeuvre. You're not supposed to manoeuvre vehicles with the bucket in the air. That I learnt when I did my forklift licence many moons ago. Always manoeuvre with the load at ground level, because it changes the centre of gravity. When lifting and lowering, you should always be moving only straight forward or straight back. When turning, always make sure the load is at its lowest level. Should you tip, I mean, obviously a vehicle like this wouldn't be a problem because you're in a cab, but on something like one of these things, or one of these things, where you're not fully enclosed, if it starts to tip over, the tendency is that if that started to tip to the right, you would try to jump out and escape it, but what would happen is you'd get mouse trapped. It would fall on you and kill you. So if the general rule of thumb is, what they said was, if you have no choice, and you're in a forklift and it starts to tip over, so it starts to tip to the right, jump out the left side. That way then you're not going to get crushed by it. Thankfully never had to employ that thing, because I never managed to tip over a forklift I was driving. I was very good. I never had an accident in a forklift. The guy I replaced had several. But I thankfully did not. Right, so that's all the back in. I've never really looked at one of these to see if you can get a rear weight for them. That's pretty cool because you kind of face on. You can have a 3-point attacher on that one. So you'd definitely be able to get a rear weight on one of those. How much is mine worth if I was to sell it? 66 grand. I don't know about weights. I don't know if I can get a weight on the back of a... I should be able to, you would think. Not entirely convinced though that you can. That needs a 3-point hitch. So they're definitely rear weight things. Good. What's the cheapest one? Probably something like that. We'll try it. See if we can attach it to the rear of this telehandler. If we can, I can always buy a bigger one then, can't I? I'm going to reset it to the farm because I don't want to drive all the way to the shop. Get them to deliver it. I ordered it on Amazon. Amazon Prime Delivery. I probably can't. This is probably more for towing like a trailer or something. So you could tow a trailer to the farm with this and then yeah, I'm not going to be able to pick that up, am I? That's a bit of a shame that I can't load that unless I can pick it up from the other side. So you can't get a rear weight to make the telehandler more stable. That's a bit of a shame. Agco 650s, which we've already got. You know what, I'm going to sell them. I'm going to sell all these. John Deere jobbies. People say, why are you selling all of those? And I'll be like, well, what I can do is I can buy some shiny new ones. I could have the proper Fenton ones, lot, for the fence. Stevie's. John Deere weights. Don't have any John Deere branding on, do they? Unfortunately. And then for the Fiats, we can get some. Well, sorry, for the Fents, we can get some Fent weights. Look, what did they have? 650s, was it? Adco 650s, right? So we'll go for the Fent 650s. Now, are they Nature Green or Classic? I think the Classic. My trucks. Although, don't quote me on that. We'll get them shipped down to the farm. And then we'll get all our vehicles loaded up and equipped with nice new weights. Right, well, we've got the manure emptied, so that's one more little side task done. In it tipped into the silo. So thank you everybody for watching this latest episode in the Fenton Forest Farm series. If you would be so kind as to go ahead and click that like button for me, that would be fantastic. If you've got any questions, comments, suggestions or feedback, please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. If you are a channel subscriber, you can also leave your subscriber task requests in the comment section down below. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, you really should just go ahead and click that button. There's no reason not to. And that way then you'll get to stay up to date with all my uploads to the channel. And you'll be able to follow along and not miss an episode of the series. So as the manure goes into the storage pit, I say thank you very much for watching this episode. I've been CWATTYESO. This is the Fenton Forest Farm by Stevie, and it's goodbye for now.